We don't get to be on the grass for a little while, but it's okay. Like I said all along, I think the most important time for this program and for our opportunity to win our 18th conference championship around here is in getting in the weight room for the next 14 weeks. So we've made some good progress, but still time to lay that down and shed a tear and move on.
Did you get everything that you wanted accomplished this spring?
We did. I thought we made marketable improvement schematically, both the expectation on how they have to play. I mean, we watched the tape today, and being able to show them guys all the individual and fundamental stuff that we do in practice, because we do a ton of that stuff, and I think it's very key to the development, and just showing them that the muscle memory of that stuff transitioning into actual team periods is great. I mean, we finally got into some competition stuff this last week, which, I mean, that's compete is everything we want to do around here. Plus, it gets me back in the mode of trying to remember what we're doing on certain down and distance situations. So, I mean, I can remember throughout practice, okay, on second down, this worked, this didn't work, and that stuff. I think that's good for the coaches. But the expectation of how hard they're expected to play, I thought was really good. They're figuring it out, and I thought the guys at the end of last year that were here in spring ball were playing significantly harder than all those freshmen that were playing. And now that they understand, we've made really good progress. So there's a lot of positives coming out of this spring ball.
But was it hard to be as physical as you wanted it to be just because of the fit numbers, especially at defensive line?
I think it was the rotation part of it was hard. Now, there's positives to everything. We have some things schematically that we're going to do next year that, because of the thin numbers, we've come up with some stuff. And I said it when I first took the job. We're 3-3-5 by number on paper. So I got no problem with playing 4 linebackers and 2 D linemen if those are your best players. If we've got packages that you have an opportunity to give something some problems, and we gave a lot of problems with different looks, then I'm all for that. Now, you can't be, I've talked about it a couple weeks ago, you can't be exotic and go with 7 DBs and no linebackers and then give them the exact same thing 2 weeks in a row, because they're going to light you up. So we've got numerous packages now that we can break out when we need them and get our best athletes on the field. And it's the focus right now is all about winning the 18th championship for this program, and that's the look right now.
To piggyback off that, but with the defensive line being thin, you feel that the reps the guys got, that because they were taking maybe more reps, even though you're shifting formations, that they kind of made the most progress?
Yes, the thing. And this is where the second year of development of the scheme is important. So all of our 2D line packages, I didn't have to call anything different. Basically what we're doing is guys have to understand it. It's really important for the linebackers, and I think Coach Pierce has done a great job with that. So if we can make somebody a certain position, we make one of the linebackers a nose guard. Well, he just has to do what the nose guard is doing, and we'll give them a direction to come from a different stunt. So we didn't have to put in a whole new package on the board. We didn't have to do anything because the scheme has evolved. So those guys got all the same practice reps. It's just, instead of having a nose guard in there, sometimes we line up with 2 5s, and I'll tell you what, when you put a 5 on each edge and there's nobody in the middle, the center's kind of going, okay, what the heck's going on? How are we gonna figure this out? And there's some things that you can do. You can't do that because they're gonna come in with 12 personnel, they're gonna try and maul you, which we'll have answers for that too, so I invite it. But there's been great teaching and great learning by technique, and I think our technique has improved significantly, which gives us an opportunity to be a lot better, especially up front.
You said at the end of last spring, and since then, that you were unsure what exactly you had until you got to August.
Yes.
How much more sure are you now of what you got, and then how much are you going to need some of these incoming guys to be a factor?
So where we need guys to come in and be a factor is depth. Last year we needed guys to come in and play. Last year we needed playmakers. That's where we didn't have anybody that I knew game in and game out, where we needed somebody that was going to change the game, could. And with those freshmen that came in, Merlin and Darian, those guys became those guys. As the season developed, Jalen Harvey became one of those guys that showed up at important times. Ashari was awful at the beginning of the year, and he was probably one of the top 3 safeties in the Pac-12 at the end of the year. And he's continued. His spring, I think Kalen Thomas, Ashari Croswell, those guys, they've improved so much schematically, but technically sound, and plus their physique has changed. I mean, Shar's a good-looking kid now. He's a little over 200 pounds, and he's been taking for about 3 weeks. He took every single team rep there was, and not once time did he complain. When I put Tyler in there, he was competing for reps and wanting to steal all Tyler's, which I was glad Tyler finally wasn't scared anymore, in a nice way to say it, and walked out there and took some reps. And I'm really proud of Tyler because he's made some great improvement in just being around the football and running inside out. I mean, today and yesterday with the team stuff, he looks back to similar where he was at the end of August. So we know who the important guys are and where they fit. Now we just need to develop some depth. And those guys that are coming in the fall, if they give us some depth, then great. If they are competing to start and play, then that means we've improved our talent and we're going to be better. Now, I'm going to say it again. Please don't expect any of those freshman D linemen to be Jermaine Lole. They're not. They I hope they are, but you can't put that expectation on any freshman to play up front against 3- and 4-year guys that have been in college weight programs. It's not fair. And the further you are away from the ball, example of Shari Croswell, you can play really good by the end of the year. It took Shari 4 games to figure out the speed. He was dropping footballs because he wasn't expecting stuff to be there. The game was moving a little bit fast. Once he got accustomed to it because he's a great athlete, he was really good. And the speed of the game up front is even faster, but now you're getting waylaid by a 300-pound guy that's stronger than you. It takes a very special person to be able to do that. And so we know what we have. We build some depth. We got a chance. That's what you asked for.
So is D-line depth your biggest concern?
Actually, no. I think we've got proven right now. We've got 4 linebackers that can play at an elite level and win. D-line, we're short right now. We were just going over the stuff between guys that we have. I mean, you hear Coach talking about we got 20 guys coming in that are going to compete. I think Coach Luganville and those guys have done a great job with evaluating, getting guys back from injury. I mean, we're going to have 18 guys in our D-line room come fall camp. We practice with, I mean, with that room with the guys injured, we had 6. So you're adding 12 bodies, but either they're freshmen, we've got a couple of walk-on kids. There's other stuff out there that we're adding to that room. So I mean, we need to find some linebackers that can play at this level, because if those guys get hurt, I mean, now you're trying to figure out, okay, where do we fit those pieces? I have no idea what Stanley Lambert's going to give us in the fall, just because of his rehab. He's doing okay. He's rehabbing. He's coming along. He was out there for a couple of the days, being able to do some of the individual stuff with Coach with AP, which is significantly further ahead than they thought he'd be. So that's a positive. But once again, he's a freshman who played in 4 games and didn't quite get the speed, so he's going to have to adjust to that speed all over again. So if you're smart as a coach, you don't count on that guy being productive. So we need to find some guys that are productive there. We've got plenty of stuff up front that we do, that the learning curve, the block reactions. I mean, I think Coach Kane has the hardest job in our scheme, because those guys have to know the difference between a scoop block and down block. Pullers, I mean, they read pullers and all that stuff just like linebackers. And our technician over the last month has been, we've done a lot of really good things. So we'll have the 29 practices, in August before we play Kent State, to develop some of those guys behind them. But I think we're going to be fine up front, especially with the way we rotate people early on. That we need to find a couple of linebackers, and I hope Elijah Warren's coming in. I hope if he's as good as we think he is and can play and give us some depth, then we'll have 5 or 6 guys there. That is plenty. We get Tyler back here. He's out of his sling, so he can start getting in the weight room and getting that shoulder right. He's supposed to be released by mid-June. Now you have the right pieces. We didn't know what pieces we had and what we were missing. I know what we have that can be special. So now it's up to the coaches to put them in the right spot. And then the players got to play. Coaches don't win games, players win games. And we've got enough of them to win games.
Would you have said the same thing you just said about Lole coming in last year, or did you know that he was going to be able to come in here and have the kind of impact?
No. I mean, he didn't play. Now there were certain reasons. I mean, there was some disciplinary stuff. He showed up late to a position meeting and missed the first 2 weeks. That actually helped him in getting. I mean, he got more time to practice on the scout team, but until he got in games and was as physical as he was. Now Jermaine's a big kid. He's not tall. He's 6'2¼ but he's almost 290 pounds. I mean, he'll easily be 300 pounds. I tease him all the time, man. Your girlfriend's a great cook. She's really pretty, and she can cook like all of them because you take advantage of it when you're not busy. And he smiles, and so we've got to make sure that we keep on him to make sure that he keeps down the right path. But no, I will never ever bet on a true freshman playing up front and being good. That's why I want to keep warning everybody: don't put the expectation on Stephon Wright and Amiri Johnson and those guys to be as good as Jermaine was, because even your top 5 teams in the country, very few true freshman D linemen play. There's a couple. I mean, Ed Oliver at Houston, he played as a true freshman. He was 5'11". He's going to be one of the top 10 guys picked in the draft. He played and dominated as a true freshman, but there's less than 2% of kids that can do that. So if you don't put that expectation on them, then they have a chance. And then you're happy with whatever they produce with. But I think, the most important number around here right now is 18. We're trying to win our 18th conference championship. We've got the longest drought we've had between championships since 1931, between the board of the WAC and the PAC. So we've got to end that. And they know the number is 18. They're going to hear that more than they're going to get tired of hearing it, because we want to get that number up to 25, and you can't do 25 if you don't do 18. So that's the goal, and that's going to be the mindset from here on going forward, getting into that weight. 14 weeks to get to 18.